This is episode number 7.
No.
Yeah. I don't know if that puts us into the echelon of the top 1% of podcasts, but I feel like we live in that top 1% anyway.
I thought we were already in that 1%.
Oh. Oh, what is it? Is it 1% don't make it past 3? It could be. It could be.
Okay. Well, we're in the 1% of all podcasts. Congratulations. Well done, sir.
Whee! Have you had a nice week? Have you done any Web3 stuff?
I've been trying to play more Web3 games because I have some time on my hands. I'm struggling to find some that I enjoy. I did play a bunch of Off the Grid, which is a first-person
Mm.
shooter, which I hadn't jumped into yet. I like it. I like the design. I think it's pretty. I'm terrible at it, which is frustrating for me because as a lifelong gamer and like COD, like Call of Duty, I'm above average at, even for our age, for 40-year-old degen age. I know you start to age out of video games, right? Just because, you don't have the same reflexes and it's tough to keep up with my 13-year-old nephew. I get all that, but I still think going in cold, I should be a 6 out of 10, right? I'm not going to be the best one. I'm not going to be
Mm.
first place and all this stuff, but I'm going to be competitive. If on a team, Off the Grid you can go in as groups of 3. And if I'm paired up with 2 strangers, I'm not the one weighing down the group. I'm at least going to be the second best guy in all those squads, right? Like, oh, this guy Taco's in here. Great. He's fine. But I'm not fine. I'm bad at it and I can't get any kills. And I don't know. I'm at a point now where I either just stop playing completely because I'm not naturally good at it and I should just give up, as you do, or do I double down and put real time into playing it to try to get to be average? And I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
So tell me a little more about how it feels compared to Call of Duty, because I've played Call of Duty relatively
Hmm.
extensively, and I jump into other first-person shooters, and there is some transferable skill there,
Yeah.
right? With the slight exception that, um, PUBG just plays like you're playing Doom, right? It's slow and it's uncoordinated. It feels horrible. Whereas Call of Duty, Fortnite, they all sort of feel the same, and I can transfer between them, and it's not a problem. What is it about Off the Grid that is different? Is it the play like sensitivities,
I
or
think it must be the sensitivities. I use a controller, even using PC games. That's just what I'm
mm,
used to. And you said Fortnite. I can jump into Fortnite and I'm totally fine. Um, it must be
mm,
the sensitivities and me just not being able to hone in on the aiming or
mm.
something about it that just feels not right. I know you can go in and adjust all that, which I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't think I should have to do that. It should just be here's the default sensitivity on this controller and you're fine. It
Yeah,
should
yeah,
be.
yeah. What is it like to shoot? Because the thing that gets me now is my
Hmm.
eyesight, and I then need to wear a pair of glasses to play, and I can probably only do an hour because the glasses give me a headache. So, and that's the problem I find, because I can't see people in the distance in Call of Duty, so I'm always getting sniped,
Mm.
and I'm not quick enough in close hand-to-hand combat, not hand-to-hand combat, but like close range
Yeah.
combat. I'm not good enough to get them because they're all slide canceling and jumping around, and I'm like,
Yeah. It
"Ugh."
feels like in this one Off the Grid, it's all mid-range combat. I haven't had anyone close enough to use melee, me or them. There are sniper rifles, but no one seems to be using them. It's all people who are close enough to me where I should be able to aim and shoot at them, but instead they're aiming and shooting at me while I'm just, I don't know. It's just not working.
And is it because they're on PC? Are they just like, because point and click is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
easier
I'm
than
I'm
you
sure
know
99% of the people playing are using keyboard mouse, and maybe that's why they're that much better. And until I can dial in the sensitivity for my controller, it's too late to switch now. I'm too old to learn
Mm.
how to play games with a keyboard.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Man, your 13-year-old nephew must think you are such a nerd. Like, do you play Call of Duty with him and he's like, oh, sorry,
No,
my Uncle Taco's here.
so we
Oh
don't play
God.
games online together. We probably should. He actually thinks that I'm amazing because he right now he's being raised by his grandparents. Who are don't know anything about anything. And so when I go over
Right,
and I can
yeah.
talk to him about video games, even if I just go in there and watch him play Fortnite and I know what's happening, for him it's like this is an adult. And that I work like I worked for Gala, which is games, like that I work in, you know, the games industry, even if it's adjacent. It's like, holy cow, this guy's he's crushing. Yeah, I'd play him in Call of Duty. I could compete with him. I feel like in Call of, I should do that. He's definitely better than me in
Yeah.
Fortnite, but I could be competitive in Call of Duty. But I should not introduce him to Off the
Well, I tell
Grid.
you what, we should also do a gaming podcast. Like, I'm trying to think. I think I've got an Xbox somewhere around here that I could hook up, and we could do
Hmm.
a game stream, but podcast as well. That would be
I
fun.
like that.
And I could do Call of Duty. I could do Fortnite. Either of those is good for me.
Yeah, I did. I was part of a closed beta playtest with a game called Haunted Space underscore is their Twitter.
Haunted
Haunted
Space.
Space.
What's the premise? This feels cool that you're getting closed beta invites.
That felt really cool. Yeah, they followed me on X. And so, of course, I posted and said, hey, I just got a follow. Maybe that means they're going to invite me to their closed beta playtest, and I think if you call them out
And
like
you got
that, and
it?
yeah, and it's a space battler. Again, I'd never played it. I jumped in. There were, I think, 12 people in each batch, and I'm consistently fourth, which to me is exactly where I want to be. I'm not going to be the best at your game, but I'm going to be like, oh, this guy knows how to play games, and that's all I want.
I have no idea what the game is. So give me an overview. What type is it? What style?
Uh,
Was it
it's a
nice?
first
Because you were
person
doing well with it, so I
shooter
presume you really like.
using space. You're in there's 10 different spaceships you can be in, and so you're battling in your spaceship, flying around shooting other people. And there's different power-ups and different kinds of
Nice.
weapons, and yeah, if you play like, oh, this game feels familiar to me, and they're still working on different additions and stuff, but it felt clean, it felt good, like, okay, yeah, I get this.
To be honest, I was just trying to think back. Like, what was the last space fighter game that I played? And it was either Star Wars TIE Fighter
Hmm.
on Windows 98, I
Yeah,
think, or it was um, Star Star Fox Star Fox on N64.
yeah, if you had played TIE Fighter, this would feel very familiar to you. You'd be like, okay, yeah, I get this.
X-wing, no, Star Wars X-wing. I don't know, whatever. But it was old and it was on
Hmm.
PC, and it was a lot of fun. Very silly. Yeah, I need to get back into a little bit of gaming. I've been so focused on building these things, and I've not had time to like even relax. But I do. I tell you what, I do watch a lot of streamers. I like have it on in the background, and I just see them playing. And obviously, I've seen that Verdansk is back in Call of Duty. And actually, Verdansk during COVID was the last time that I regularly played Call of Duty. So it's nice to see that kind of nostalgia.
I'm with you. I don't watch a ton of
And
streamers. I should be streaming. I like playing games. If I'm playing games anyway, there must be two or three people who'd want to watch me
100%, I'd watch you.
do that. I have an audience already, and here I am, just
Done,
playing on my
done.
own.
Just send me the link, get it on Twitch, and you'll be good.
Excellent.
I think you'd be fun to watch, and that way you could play those games and get really sweaty at them, and then it would make sense, right? Then you could go in and play and be like, oh look, I'm cool, and you could thrash your 13-year-old uh, nephew.
Right, or at least be competitive
He'd
with
be like,
him.
what just happened? A 40-year-old absolutely wiped the floor with me
Hmm.
on
Yeah,
Fortnite.
that's the dream, right?
Um, Taco, I know I messaged you this after it happened, but I was so impressed with your conversation with Bucks that you had, because she threw you, I think, a pretty hardball question, right? It was about AI, it was about the singularity, it was about, no, it wasn't, it was about
Hmm.
superintelligence. And I heard that question and I was like, I'm glad I didn't get pitched that question. But I'm looking forward to Taco making a very funny, sarcastic response. And you answered it. Like you you clearly know stuff about AI, and I didn't know that about you. So I thought I'd say it and just say it made me laugh, and very well done.
Yeah, this feels kind of like a backhanded compliment. Like, hey, nice job knowing about a thing. Like the expectation of me is I'm not going to know the answer, but I'm going to talk about Waffle House in a way that connects and it ends up being funny somehow. Um, Versus actually talking about super intelligence or the things that we were talking about.
No, but
But you're right
the
though.
reason I say it, I because I thought we were like I thought we were on the same level. Like we're just idiots. We're just doing a thing. It's like we're not being serious. And then you just came out with this really thoughtful response about AI, and I was like, "Fuck, have I got to be serious now? Like, have I got to meet your
No,
level of intelligence? Because otherwise, I'm the dumb one in the comedy duo."
no.
And I was like, "Oh, it just feels like a lot of
Do
effort."
not be serious. I accidentally know about AI because I was recently on contract with a company who started as Web3 gaming when I joined them and then pivoted to AI. And so I
Mm.
had to go learn something, right? Like,
Right?
oh,
Yeah.
okay, so I should know about this stuff now. And so did a bit of a deep dive enough so that I can answer your questions superficially, but don't ask me to go too deep into any of it. I'm my whole
Right.
life is just like
Right. Okay.
this. I have enough superficial knowledge about enough things that people are like, oh, this guy gets it. I do not get it.
I've got a friend who I met through Web3 actually, but she runs the AI like it's a thing called the Amy's Award, and then also doing this like institute of like learning and stuff for AI related stuff in creative industries, and she is wicked smart. Like sometimes I listen to her and she's telling me all about these kind of like updates in AI, and I'm like, but I have switched off. I couldn't, and I'm just like, please don't ask me a question. Please don't ask me a question. She's far more intelligent than I am, and I'm just like, cool. That's really cool. It just feels like there's so much to know about AI that puts me off. Right, like
Yeah.
that terrifies me.
Yeah.
Terrifies me.
Same. Too much about anything. That's why I stopped learning like 10 years ago. It's like, you know what? I know enough, right?
Yeah. I do. I tell you what, I've been learning about. I know Bucks wanted to avoid this on her conversation, but I've been learning about how much luxury bags cost. I've been that was the bit that TikTok showed me.
I am
I got all of the breakdowns.
so excited that my feed, I don't know why. I guess everyone's feed just started showing up. I am obsessed with the social media accounts from these factories in China that are just spilling
Yeah.
all of the tea. And it's like, wow, this is amazing. I love it. I love all of it.
Mhm. It's wonderful. That is such a brilliant move. Like, I kind of felt like the US was probably strategically capable of, kind of propaganda uh, war like that. I don't, I don't see that from Trump necessarily. I don't see his as being a calculated um, propaganda war. His is very much a stumbling, like an old man stumbling through a kid's play area. But stepping on things and almost losing his step. Oh, that's kind of how it feels from the outside, or certainly from the European press. But yeah, there. It's such a brilliant move to just be like, hey, all that stuff that you value, it's if we make it, and it's not worth shit. This is how propped up
Yeah.
your economy
Yeah,
is.
and also you cannot make it, which is my favorite part. Which is we have the supply chains, we have the artisans, we have the tool makers, we have the resources, X,
Yeah.
Y, Z. And it's like hey, great, if you want to try to make this stuff in America, feel free. Here's all the reasons why that's a terrible idea. first and foremost because we're so good at it. And it's like, yeah, and like we all know, like that $20,000 handbag, the cost isn't $10,000 on it. Like we, if we all guessed, we'd say
Hmm.
1,200 and we'd be right. But to go through the whole, here's everything that's involved. Here, I was like, it's so good. I love it.
Yeah. And then also like here's what gets shipped to us from France so that they can say that it's French.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we do, and then we send it back and they do this to say it's a product of
Yeah.
France. that was, that was
Yeah,
brutal.
yeah, and that they're taking shots at the EU, and it's like, whoa, like, you know, what did these designer handbags in Italy do? But they're taking the gloves off, and I'm here for it. This is the drama that I wanted.
Yeah. A little cat amongst the pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about it. Um, we've neglected the DGen mailbag for a couple of weeks now, and to be honest, it's gotten a bit unruly.
Uh-oh.
I feel like we need to do a little session where we clean up and we go through and we answer some of these questions. But I forget where we got to.
Uh-oh. Are you? Do you have it pulled up right now?
Uh, I mean, I've got yeah, I do have it pulled up right now. I feel like we spoke about the young ones.
Mm-hmm.
We had that conversation, didn't we?
We did. I think we might be at our favorite two or three albums you can pop in and listen to start to finish.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, okay. I did this recently, actually. Um, with frantically googling to remind myself Ben Howard and his album Every Kingdom.
I don't know that one.
You, I think you'd know it if you heard it. Um, but I was in a headspace where I needed something that was like calming and relaxing, but nothing recently. Like the Bon Iver album, I find really difficult to listen to because I think the first album really hit me. I was at the right time and the right place for that album, right? And now it sounds like, even though he's probably not working with Kanye on it, it sounds like Kanye's sort of writing him raps. And I don't, I just don't know how I feel about that for Bon Iver, like, and if it's not Kanye writing him raps, I think I feel even more conflicted about it. Like, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me you know, like the first album did, and then his follow-up album was phenomenal as well. But that's one of mine. Old Pine, Ben Howard.
I like that. One of mine is, I'm going to shift this a little bit, is By Blood, right up there. By
By Blood.
by Shovels and Rope, if you're familiar. It's a
Oh,
married duo. I like when there's a male and female vocals working together.
mhm.
They're sort of indie Americana almost.
Okay, I can get
So
into
it's
this. I'm gonna put this album on my listen
yeah,
list.
that might be my right now. It's my favorite album. It's so hard to say where it stacks up all time. Top 10 for me all time, and
Mm,
it's one I'll throw and listen to start to finish, no problem. I feel like when we were
mm,
younger, I know the music industry talks about this, albums were designed more to be full, complete. Here's 12 songs. This is a story. This is an album. And now it's more singles, but there's
mm.
also an album. My listening now tends to be more, I'll go into Spotify and I'll do a daily mix because I like a lot of different stuff. I don't want to listen to the radio, but it'll be a mix of, oh, here's all the indie stuff that you've been listening to, or here's all the whatever. But that's one I'll throw in. It depends on my mood. Miley, I'll throw in and listen to start to finish. Bangers, Plastic Hearts is great all the way through. But if you're feeling Miley, it's a bit like, what mood am I in, and then what am I going to listen to?
Yeah, I think Miley is a bigger thing in the States than she was in the UK. You know, I think Miley is famous in the UK because she worked with Jessie J,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that. Party in the USA. That was a Jessie J wrote that, and like the story of Miley Cyrus doing the song when it came to the UK was that it was written by Jessie J.
Hmm.
Like that was the reason it came over here.
Yeah. Her catalog since then is a lot different. Don't although when that comes on at a wedding, I'm going for it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and talking of great banging wedding songs, Hot Fuss by The Killers. That is another album that I probably listened to. I've probably listened to that 10,000 times from start to finish. It was, I remember I got it the first year of college, and college is different in the UK. It's not university, it's 2 years before that. So, like, you have school up until year 11, and then you have 2 years of college, and then you have university. So, um, how old was I? 17, I think, and I had a Discman,
Hmm.
and that was this every morning on the way into college I would listen to this, and every evening on the way back. And I think that was that year I got my first iPod. So I came out of that, but then when I got a car, I had a CD player, and the only CD that I had from before was Hot Fuzz. So I listened to that on the way to work for the next 5 years. It was that one is ingrained in my memory. Every song I know all the
I
words
love
to.
that.
Go on, number two for you. What's that?
Uh, can I not just say the Miley catalog? Does that not? Will that not work? Let's just go bangers. Let's go
I
Miley bangers to listen to.
Why not? Why not the Jonas
Miley's
Brothers album
Miley's
that
up there.
has
She's up in
Waffle
the
House on it?
corner. I've got Miley on the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely, lovely. I'm sure everybody around her is pleased to be in such good company. Talking of duos that are married
Hmm.
that sing together, there is a new artist that you need to know called Thelma and James, and they blew up on TikTok recently, which is where I saw them. But they have a song called "Happy Ever After You," and it struck me in the same way that when I heard the Civil Wars for the first time.
Hmm.
It struck me in that same way, but it is much more modern Nashville, kind of like country, very much country inspired Americana, but just an absolutely beautiful song. So if that's your particular niche, married um, um, singers, then that's the
They
one
don't
for you.
have to be married, but yeah,
Hey, look, I appreciate the
yeah.
niche. Like it's a fun. It makes it challenging to find
Hmm.
those acts, but when you find them,
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
wonderful,
All right, what
wonderful.
do we got next on
All
in
right,
the mail?
who asked that, by the way?
That was Las Vegas Lands,
Love
who
it.
followed up with sci-fi question: do you have a theory to explain UFOs?
Oh, um, probably reaching all the way back to the short time that I spent studying neuroscience. Um, Visual hallucinations are one of the most common types of hallucinations, and that most people that have seen things, I think I sort of account ghosts in that, as well as the fact that, like, um sensing other presences, that feeling when you feel like something's watching
Hmm.
you, that is most commonly triggered by carbon monoxide, which is undetectable most of the time. So if that happens, get a carbon monoxide tester, because that kills, right? That's a horrible thing.
Huh.
So if you feel like, oh my god, this might be a ghost, just get a carbon
Right.
monoxide
You
tester
have
first,
carbon
right? Let's
monoxide
rule that
poisoning.
out. Yeah, well, or there's a leak in the
Right.
house, right, and you're starting to whatever. But the problem is you can't smell carbon monoxide and you can't feel it any other way. There's just these kind of like mild symptoms, and then it
Huh.
kills you. Um, so, but yeah, but then there's all these like I've never seen a piece of footage of a UFO that I was like, oh yeah, that's clearly a UFO, right? I mean, an unidentified flying object. Obviously, it is unidentified, but like even the stuff where people were looking at like, oh, it's over Detroit, I was like, that's a drone, or like the ones that are like from cameras and it shows it like moving really quickly. I'm like, it's that probably could be a glitch or something. Like, there's probably a explainable reason for it because I'm not being funny. The governments of this world are not sophisticated enough to be able to maintain secrecy on something like that across multiple generations and whatever. So I feel like it would just be normal life if UFOs existed, right? That would just be part of
Yeah.
life. So I don't know. I've never seen one, so I can't really talk from personal
I've also
experience.
never seen one. If they, the ones that people do see, it, like you say, it's either a glitch or I have carbon monoxide poisoning or it's a drone. I I'm not an alien guy. Like I recognize that we are on Earth and we exist. And so I can't say there isn't life on some other planet. But if there was life on another planet and they were advanced enough to be flying around intergalactically and they come into our atmosphere and all they're doing is every couple of years they pop in and then they leave again, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, wouldn't they be trying to make contact or trying to blow us up or coming to the Earth to take samples? I don't know. It just doesn't feel like why are you just coming to hang out in the sky for a little bit?
I also feel like the kind of people that believe that there are aliens, like they're lucky that Scientology didn't find them first, you know? Like they were ready to believe in something,
Yeah.
and it just happens to be that caught them at the right time. And like, like when you're looking for a really beautiful piece of music and then you just something comes out and you attach yourself to that and you're like, that has real meaning. But you're just looking for it at the time, and then that happened. And if it wasn't that, it would be something else. And like everybody in the next generation, they had that same album that became that thing to them, but it was a different album because it was a different time. So yeah, I'd love for there to be aliens. I'd love that to be an interesting thing that we discover, and then you know, talking, just asking questions of an alien race would be phenomenally fantastic. Um, but yeah, that unless that happens anytime soon, like if it's like Bigfoot,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like, oh, Bigfoot could live up in this thing, and you're like, yeah, well, so what? Like,
Right. I'm here for it. If there are aliens, come on down. I
100%.
don't believe we would just try to engage in civil conversation. I think we'd probably just try to blow them
I,
up, right?
I also don't know why the US government would keep it a secret, you know? Like, I get with the flat earthers, I get that their line is like, oh, they're trying to keep it a secret because it proves that we are the chosen thing. It's God. It's a God thing, right? God exists, and like they're trying to keep that from you because they're trying to keep that quiet. But why are they trying to keep UFOs quiet? Like, what
Sure.
what
Why would they
what
try to keep God
purpose does it
quiet?
serve? Well, yeah, what purpose does it serve to? I mean, so the argument again with God is more simply explained, right? Because the devil is doing something to stop God's word from being spread, right? I get that. I don't agree with it, but I
Yeah.
get it. And then but aliens are if anything, maybe they're trying to keep it secret because it disproves the idea that we're the only people and a god thing. So I don't know. Maybe you can use that argument, counter argument. Who knows? Do I have any? Yeah, I have my suspicions are that like UFOs are unidentified, but they are not otherworldly. They're just some things.
Agreed. Sorry, that's probably a letdown answer. I'll bet they wanted us to talk about how much we believe in aliens, and I just can't. I'm not there for that. I'm sorry. I wish we were.
They wanted us to tom along all over this podcast. I can't find where you are.
Uh-oh. and you're in mail and you're in mailbag. You
Yeah, I'm in
on
mailbag.
by date, I'm on the 8th.
I've
I'm
got
on
two.
April 8th.
Oh, you're past me.
Did
Wait,
we
because here's
skip
one.
any?
Here's a robot clinic. Robot clinic got a good
Uh-oh.
one. So let's go back to. We'll do
Oh,
this one.
apologies.
Um,
Oh,
you can only choose one of the
it's his goddamn
superpowers.
math question. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Right? It's math.
live your life at double speed but live to 100. Live your life at half speed but live to 50.
Yeah, it's live your life
So
at double speed to
it's the
100
same.
because you get to live longer, right?
No, you don't.
Don't you?
No, you don't. Because you live 50 years.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Live your life at double speed, live to 100, which means you will have seen 200 years. Or live your life at half speed but live to 50, so you'll have lived 100
No, at
years.
double speed, you'll have
Or
seen
does
50
what,
years
maybe,
to get to
maybe
100.
maybe the question he's asking is, would you prefer to live the same amount of time? Oh, live more life but sped up, or less but slower?
Yeah, I guess you want to go less but slower because quality of life in your 80s, 90s probably isn't great, even if you're going twice as fast. Going twice as fast in your 90s is probably much worse than going regular speed, right? You're going to get hurt all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Half speed.
Yes.
Half speed, please.
Nailed it. We're crushing these questions today. Yeah.
Boom.
It's all about quality of life.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay, so now you're in April.
Yeah.
Favorite 2 hour. Okay, I see. Sci-fi question. Right now we've got Robot Clinic. Oh no, he was just
Yeah. He's
answering
just answering.
Las Vegas
Yeah.
lines. This is gonna get confusing.
Uh,
Oh, Las Vegas Lines also likes Bleed American by Jimmy Eat World. That is a classic album. I'll agree. And actually, they did another album after that called Big Casino, which I is probably a little bit more poppy,
mhm,
but I really, really enjoyed it. I listened to that a lot in the car while I was driving around. Oh, now we're at the end.
mhm.
Or were you going backwards?
No, I think that gets us at the end.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go, Degens. Fill up the mailbag for next week. We should. I feel like we didn't think that through, that channel through, because it's all just like a mismatch of conversation, and maybe it should be like a submit thing, just to be like, here's a question, and then we can open it, and there's no then like subsequent posts that we have to get through. But
We could do
I
that.
don't care
I
enough
could
to.
make a type form and people have to submit a type form. We can open it up on air.
Oh, type form feels official.
Yeah, it sure does.
All right, let's just keep our manky Discord channel. Um, anything else we need to discuss for the nice people?
No, Easter's coming up on Sunday, but I thought it's better to do a recap of Easter next week than a whatever the opposite of recap is.
Yeah,
Preamble?
pre
A
cap.
precap. Yeah, let's not precap it. Let's just recap it.
Recap it. Yeah, I like that. But you've got no traveling coming up. But you had a little spate of travel, which was
I have
exciting. But
yeah,
feels
a
like
bit in May. Consensus is going to be in Toronto. So I will be at Consensus
oh yeah,
Toronto. And so if you want me to wear my 40-year-old Degen merch at Consensus
got to
at
get on
that
that.
blockchain conference, we
Yeah.
need to figure that out.
All right. That is on my list of things that I need to do. The problem is, like, I found this really high end merch
Mm,
manufacturer, and then they're like, "You need to be a registered company," and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do that just for
yeah,
merch. Like, maybe we should just go a bit more
that's a lot of
basic
hoops.
for it."
There's a video game conference here in Boston called PAX, which I'm going to earlier in May, but I ordered a short fuse baseball jersey to wear to that one because that's just games.
Yeah,
It's not Web3.
Yeah, very
Hmm.
cool. No, I support that. I think we have this little clique of people around us that have got these cool things going on. So I think cross promotional merch is good. It's good for everybody. Nice.
Go team.
All right, I'm going to stop recording. Go team!